Royalty. Royalty. Power to the chosen people.
Three weeks ago in the women's class on Thursdays. And so it's Proverbs 12 and 4, and I have two verses, and they go together. So 12 and 4 says, "A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness to his bones." So the word that we did was crown. And so this will be kind of cool for the people who were there on that Thursday, because I actually got more. So in Hebrew, especially in our Psalms and our Proverbs, it's all about compare and contrast. So you see a lot of that. And so the cool thing about the Proverbs and the Psalms is that you get a working picture of the positive charge of the Hebrew words and the negative charge all in one place. And then you can kind of go out and then find those throughout Scripture. So this is showing a negative and a positive, or first a positive and a negative. And a negative is only negative when you are on the receiving end of the negative action. Somebody's doing something to someone else, it's not really negative, especially when it's being done on your behalf, correct? Okay, so the word in Hebrew for crown is, let me pull up my writing place. I'm going to clear this. The word in Hebrew for crown, and I'm going to actually write it in regular Hebrew, and in the Hebrew that Moses probably would have recognized. So that would be like Paleo Hebrew. So in regular Hebrew, it's ayin, tet, resh. Okay? So atar. Atar is the word. And then in Paleo Hebrew, it looks like this. So make sure I do that right. So something like this. So ayin, tet, resh, and then that is also ayin, tet, and a resh. And some of those words look the same. So atar. The word atar in the Hebrew literally has to do with encompassing or surrounding something, right? So the actual literal Hebrew word picture has to do with a bird of prey. And so I think I told you guys that how Hebrew works is because all these letters in this word are make up the meaning of the word because of the pictures. Then if you take an ayin and a resh and you get a two-letter root, and an ayin and a tet and get a two-letter root, you're still going to be dealing with the same idea of the word, right? So tet resh, so tar, if you want to put it like that, literally means to contain or to wall in. And so it has a picture of tet, which is a wall or a container, and a resh, which is a man. So it literally means to contain the man. So if we go back to the verse, a virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. So she's encompassing or containing the man. Okay? Ayin tet has to do with the idea of wrapping around. So to see and contain. And so this one was very interesting. So you have containing the man, which is also a form of protection, and then to see the man, or to see and contain, right? And so most people don't see the idea of a woman protecting her man, right? So it actually, the word tet resh, or ayin tet, deals with the idea of a bird of prey. And so a bird of prey, let's use an eagle, is a very, very dangerous animal if you're on the receiving end of her talons, and if you are what she is preying upon. But to the house, the bird of prey is valuable, because to the house, she's going out and she's hunting, or using a she, and she's bringing back food to the nest to care for the baby birds. So the baby birds do not see her as a threat because she is protecting them. She's protecting and guarding her nest. but she's defending them against their enemies. So a woman, in that sense, as a crown for her man, should not be preying upon the man. She should be protecting from that which is outside. Correct? So that crown is a protection. Okay, so we'll bring it back to Yah. So Yah is both, and follow me with this, both good and evil, depending on the receiving side on the side you're receiving. Okay? So Yah wants us to be on his good side or within his protection, so that he's not preying upon us or destroying us, right? So the word we get is Yahuwah Kana. It says he's a jealous Yah. Well, it has to do with a brooding bird or a brooding eagle over her chicks, where she's going to devour that which tries to come in and get her chicks. So if the chick grows up and then comes back to devour the nest, then I'm also going to devour you, correct? Okay, so Isaiah 28 and 5. Let me go back. Isaiah 28 and 5 says, in that day shall Yahuwah of hosts be a crown, before a crown of glory, and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people. So to the remnant of his people, he's going to encompass and see over and contain and protect them, correct? But if you're not within the remnant of his people, and if you're not within his protection, then you're going to be dealing with the preying effect of this Yahuwah Kana, or this jealous Yah, who's going to then devour anyone that's not within his nest. So it's good to be like the chick in the nest of the eagle, whom she protects and feeds. It is dangerous to be the prey of the eagle, who she's going to devour. Okay, so the chick has no need to be afraid of the eagle, but the prey has every need to be afraid of the eagle. Okay, so to bring it back to Proverbs 12 and 4, where the woman is a crown to her husband, the idea also, atar, has to do with holding something sharp in your hand. So once again, the talons are sharp. You see all these all come together. So a woman with a knife is good if she's in the kitchen cutting up food and cooking, or if she's skinning an animal, but she's dangerous if she's using it on her man, right? And not even in the sense of killing. Remember Delilah, right? Delilah's a perfect picture of a woman holding shears, because she preyed upon him. So she was a strong woman, right? So the whole idea is the virtuous woman is a crown. So she's a strong woman. This strong woman was strong, but in the negative. She broke him down, right? Became rottenness to his bones. When bones rotten, they mildew, they become brittle, and all you have to do is kind of like tap them and they crumble. Wood is the same way. When it gets wet and it gets soft and it gets mildewy, it begins to rot. So she had shears. Well, what she did with the shears is she took his strength. So a woman, a strong woman, can be a crown to her husband. A strong crown then protects and encompasses, and I'll go back to that verse. But a crown that is sharp, like a bird of prey, and has a knife, and is seeing and watching over a man to devour him, is rottenness to his bones. Okay, so remember, and I'll show you, I have an inkling that maybe David probably taught this to Solomon for this very reason. Remember Michal? Well, that was, and then we say Michael, but it's Michal, David's first wife, the daughter of Saul. Remember when they were young and she was running from Saul? He was running from Saul. She hid and protected him, right? So she was a crown. She encompassed him and protected him from all of the danger that was coming from the outside. But then later on, when the Ark of the Covenant came in, right? And he danced before it. She brought shame upon him, and it became rottenness to his bones, and he couldn't even stand her anymore. That whole idea of rottenness has to deal with a barren, dry land. So what did he do? He said, I'm never going to be with you again. So you'll be barren and you'll be detestable. And so I believe that part of this probably came as a teaching, because that's what Proverbs are, a teaching that a virtuous woman is a crown. She'll protect you. But if she turns wicked, she'll become rottenness to your bones. And you don't want a person like that around you. The same thing with Yah. Yah is a crown, he'll protect you. But if you turn wicked, then he'll also devour you. So you want to stay within the parameters of being within his care and not without his care. Same thing with a woman. You would want to have a virtuous woman who's going to protect you and be a crown and a surrounding of protection, and not have one that's going to be on the inside and rot your bones and make you vulnerable to destruction. That's it.